above and below. Waddle-ee-ah-cha, doodle-ee-doo. Okay, let's try it again. You start like this.
That nose ear thing just sounds crazy.
There's a chair back there.
Okay, now you go doodle-ee-doo. Nose, ear, and then you go doodle-ee-doo. Okay, guys? And we're going to do it again. Waddle-ee-ah-cha, above, below, nose, ear, back. Simple as waddle-ee-ah-cha, doodle-ee-doo, doodle-ee-doo. Let's do it again. Waddle-ee-ah-cha. Okay, got it? Nose, ear, cross, right? Cross. Last time, and then we'll do the song. One more. Above, below, nose, ear, ducks. Okay. Okay, got it. Can everybody see?
Let's just say ducky, 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 ducky.
Okay, see?
Any good?
Okay, so the song goes
I haven't opened one yet.
Night hike and going diving.
All good.
What do we have for supper tonight?
Tacos.
Nice.
Nachos.
The shellless tacos. Nice. Well, looks good. Well, thank you for cooking, guys.
The night hike and seeing the otter.
Yeah, don't forget that we did the wildlife center. We'll hit the parrots too.
The lifesaver.
This is Sue Gross?
the whole weekend. That's wonderful.
Good.
I like the stream study, and I like otter, and I like the night hike.
Okay.
I like the stream study.
Stream study.
I like the stream study. I like the bonding time.
There we go. Right, we did try. We did a lot.
So what do we got here, guys?
A badger.
Really?
A badger. I always thought that if you let a badger out, they would tear you to pieces, right? So
You think they would?
that they would tear us to pieces. My solution was right. But he's so cute.
Here, look at the claws on their feet.
I just want to hug him. I don't really care how big it is.
Teeth. Okay. So in the lumber camp, remember, everything has a nickname. What do you think they called the person that sharpened the teeth on the saws?
Blacksmith?
Nope. The dentist, right? He's working on teeth. Okay? So you can see these two saws are a little bit different. Different saw blades have different uses. Okay? So this saw blade here tends to be most useful with hardwoods. Okay, so like an oak tree, that would be considered a hardwood. And it also works best with, or better, with greener woods. Does anybody know what I mean when I say greener wood?
Can you weigh a little bit more, Christopher?
Well, greener wood.
We're going to be working. We're going to be around here. Everybody else needs to take a couple steps back. All right. Are you going to be sitting on the log for us? Awesome. So if you sit with both legs on the same side, just like this.
And hands in your pockets.
All right.
Okay.
So when you get to your wood cutting station, the saw is going to be on the ground. Do not pick up the saw until both of you are there to pick up the saw. If one person picks it up, the other end's just going to be flopping around, and that's when somebody is going to get hurt. So until both of you are ready to pick up the saw, leave it on the ground, okay? All right, are you ready? Go ahead and pick up your saw.
Ashley has swingers.
Now, when we're cutting our wood cookies, we go through a lot of these activities here at Mackenzie, so please only cut about an inch wide of a cookie. Okay, if everybody cut a foot
Show an
wide
inch.
cookie and took a log home as a souvenir, we'd run out of wood really, really quickly.
Show us an inch. Show us about an inch. Small, right? It's not very big. So it's not very thick.
All right. Now, when you're cutting, if you stand off to the side of the blade, you can actually pull that saw across in front of you. For some people that's hard because what's going to be your natural tendency when you do that?
Twist.
You're going to twist and you're going to bend that.
We have one waiter. We
a stream study or a stream investigation where you guys are going to be doing a little bit of research and collecting some data, and everything we're going to be doing is going to be around this fish. Does anybody know what kind of fish this is? This is a brown trout. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but yeah, today we're going to be talking about a brown trout. We're going to be looking at whether or not the trout can survive in the stream that we're going to. We're going to a place called Rowan Creek. It's going to be the temperature of the stream. Now, again, this is important because trout need cold water. They're a cold water fish. And as you see down at the bottom, German brown trout, they need, in order to survive in that body of water, a temperature between 45 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. If you start getting any warmer than that, they have problems and they can't survive. So it's going to be important that we take the temperature. These are the thermometers that your groups are going to have. They're all attached, you notice, by a string to these bright orange blocks. That's to help try to keep us from losing it, and also should you drop it in the water, it's going to keep it afloat, so hopefully we can track it down and retrieve it again, okay? So, when we walk up, do you think we're going to want to dip this in quick and then pull it back out right away? No, exactly. We want to be accurate, make sure that we're being accurate with our measurements. So when you get up there, you can take this measurement right from the stream bank if you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be taken right all the way in the water in the waders. You're going to want to hold it in there for a minute or two, okay? That way you're making sure that it gets time to adjust and take an accurate reading of the water temperature. Now, these thermometers read in degrees Celsius. Your sheet is going to ask you for degrees Fahrenheit. So to do the math, to make the conversion, we've got the little cheat formula sheet here on the block. So you guys should all be able to do that, hopefully. If you need help, just let us know. We can help you out. So that's going to be measuring the temperature. All these measurements, you don't necessarily have to take in the order that I'm telling you. I'll just tell you this right now. You can change it up. You can multitask. You could assign one person to do this, another person to start another measurement, and then another person to start another measurement. You're going to want to make good use of your time while you're down there so we can get through everything. Then so you guys have some more time to kind of do the more fun things that people like to do, like looking for the critters, which we'll talk about in a minute, and just getting to explore and kind of see what's around down there, okay? Make good use of your time. Work together as a team. This isn't a competition. You guys are working together as a team to get the results. So that's measuring the temperature. A lot of the other things that you're going to be doing, measurements that you're going to be doing, you're going to be required to be in the water. And I'll tell you, this water is going to be cold. I won't tell you how cold, it's up to you to find, but it's going to be cold. It's not going to be water that you're going to want to go jumping in, especially on a day like today where it's still a little cooler outside. What did we talk about as one of the #1 things you have to worry about in terms of survival? What could you get sick from really quick? What was that word? Hypothermia, yeah. On a day like today, with cold water and colder temperatures outside with the wind, if somebody falls in, even with the waders on, hypothermia could set in really quickly. So, should somebody go in today, I'm going to have a wool blanket. Slide them on so your feet, again, are all the way into the boots. Then you can stand up, pull these up the rest of the way, and buckle them. Now, unfortunately, some of these waders are going to be big on some of you. If some of you are a little bit taller, they might fit you better. But these are all we have. It's really difficult to buy a pair that's going to fit each and every person that comes through here. So these are a little bit big. Hopefully they're not so big like that picture over there. But if they are, they'll still work. Now, waders are designed to keep water out, right, and keep you dry. The other thing to know about waders is they're also very good at keeping water in if you get them wet on the inside. Alright, and like I said, moving safely in the stream. This is where it's going to be important. Help your teammates out. When somebody's going to get into the stream bank is very steep in some spots. Lend them a hand. Help them get into the water and back out again, okay? It can be difficult to get in and out sometimes. You guys are going to have different tools. You're going to have a yardstick like this that each group is going to have. Let the person in the water use this as a walking stick to kind of feel what's in front of you. The water down there, for the most part, is relatively clear, but as you start walking, it's going to get cloudy. So you might not see that big log or that big rock in the water in front of you. Use this to help you see what's in front of you so you can hopefully avoid tripping on something. It's also going to be important You're also going to have a net that you can use as a support tool as well, but go slow. Go slow and take tiny steps. Has anybody here ever tried running in the water? Is it difficult or is it easy? Yeah, it's really hard. It's not very hard, or it's not very easy to run through the water and at least get anywhere fast. And 9 times out of 10, if you try to run in the water, you end up falling down.
Okay, that's across. What's the depth? Depth is down.
You're going to put that down until it touches the bottom. Then you're going to read where the water level is. So maybe here, I'm at 26.5 inches. So I'm going to take a step over and do it again. So maybe over here, the water is just at 25 inches. Take another step over and keep doing that all the way across until you get 5 measurements for the depth. Then you're going to find the average depth for that section. You guys know how to do that math again? Yep, all right, great. So you're going to find the depth for your section of stream. Again, most of you shouldn't be getting anything much over 3 feet, okay? The stream's not that deep in the part that we're going to be working with. There are some sections of the stream that get down as deep as 10 to 12 feet, but not what we're going to be, so you don't have to worry about it. Next, you're going to do the width measurement, all right? Now again, keep in mind you don't have to do these in the order that I'm presenting them, and you can team up. Each group is going to have 2 pairs of waders, okay? If somebody from your group falls in, that means you're going to be down to 1 pair of waders. So again, make sure that we're staying safe, we're staying dry. You're going to have 2 pairs of waders. So some person could be doing one of the other tests while somebody's doing the width or the depth. Make sure you're working efficiently.
I gotta find a clear
So
spot.
for the width of the stream, again, you're just picking that same spot, so maybe the same spot that you did your depth measurements, you're going to measure from one bank across to the other bank, okay? Now, we talked that you don't want to make a lot of big movements or move as little as possible in the stream. So, I'll show you how we don't have to be that accurate with this. If you want to be really accurate, we get one of those long measuring tapes to make sure that we measure really closely. For today, for our purposes, I'll show you how you can measure a long area without moving once or moving one time or less than once, okay? So, I'll pick a point in the stream right here, and I'll reach this yardstick all the way up to this bank. How far is that? If this is a yardstick, how many feet am I measuring right now? 3 feet, very good, all right. So then, standing in the same spot, I can flip this over, making sure this end stays as close to the same area as possible. Now how many feet have I measured? 6. Now how many feet have I measured? 9. If I'm really skilled, I've got longer arms than you guys, I can get it over and almost get 12 feet standing in one spot. Some of you guys after the 9, you might have to take a step over to get that last width measurement, okay? Everybody understand how to do that? Great. Yep, we're getting through there. We schedule them a little early so we have time to get everybody prepared. So, all right. Next, you're going to be measuring the DO. The DO stands for dissolved oxygen. That's going to be how much oxygen is in the water. Now, the
how's your water sample going?
Is going to be in parts
Has it changed colors yet?
Yeah, sort of peachy.
Just going to focus on the number today because it might take a little while to explain the rest of it. So, we're going to find out how much oxygen is available in that water. Now, trout, I kind of mentioned it earlier, they need very oxygen-rich water, a lot of oxygen in it. They need 6 parts per million of oxygen or higher. So how are you going to do this measurement? This is a really easy one. Somebody can start this almost right away when you get down there. In this baggie, each group is going to have a baggie labeled DO. You're going to pull up the little vial that's in there. Somebody's going to go down to the stream, dip it in there carefully, and fill it up with water. Then, there's little tablets in here.
I jumped.
A little sheet. You're going to pop one tablet out and drop it into that vial. Put the lid on, and then somebody's going to sit there and just do this and just gently shake it for 1 or 2 minutes until that tablet dissolves. As that tablet dissolves, it's going to start to change color. Then, the last thing, once you get all of those measurements done, then your group can start
To be for the brown, for the
now, each group is going to have the net.
40 to 65. So do we meet? Are we a good good amount?
These nets, you wouldn't think it, but they're $40+ for one net. So it's a lot to replace them if they get ripped up. So on dry land, please only have the handle on the ground. When you're in the stream, then you can put the net part down in there. Now, Do I want to just stand in the water?
Did anyone count?
Break light and just dip it straight to the surface and just hold it there like this? No, I'm looking at something.
How many Mississippis?
Try netting in different areas. Go up along the rocky patch and kind of bounce it into rocks. Get some gravel.
12
in that
Mississippis
net.
at a miss.
Go up underneath the
So
banks.
where are they?
Weeds. Find some other areas.
Oh, we
Try
got
different
3. We
parts
got
of the
3.
stream.
No, what is the
When
other
you
one?
dip it in there, before you start netting, have your tray that your group is going to have filled up
those are
about
little
halfway
shrimp, huh?
with water. That way, when you take the scoop
What are they called?
You're going to walk back
What are we
over to
looking
the
at?
shoreline.
What is the name, Olivia?
Dump the net
I
into
think
the
it's
tray,
called like,
turn
yeah,
it
the
inside out,
stud.
rinse it around.
They were called like the
Don't be discouraged.
They were like
like little
freshwater
Say,
shrimp.
oh, there's nothing in there.
That was
dump it
one
out,
there,
keep
that
going.
one. Oh, we got
You're going to be amazed at how
3.
many little animals you're going to catch in
One
just
here, one
one
here.
net.
Oh, there's a really
It
tiny
doesn't
one.
look like anything's in there.
That
A
was
lot of the
a
animals
spider,
you're going to be
doesn't it?
looking for are going to be very, very tiny. So try different places, dump them out. Once you've got a net full or two of stuff scooped and into your tray, come back out of the water. And as
So, do you guys have a bug that you want to try to identify there?
to try to identify some of the critters. Now, what do you think these critters are going to be?
All right, so I tell you what. Sorry about that.
Or why are they
Stuck up
important to
behind
the trout?
you.
What do you
Sorry.
think these animals
All right,
that
so
we're
I
going to
tell you
find
what,
are
guys.
to the trout? They're food sources, yeah. So it's going to be important that we see what's available for the trout to use and eat. So you guys are going to get a series. Each group is going to have a magnifying glass that you can use, and a bunch of little trays and dishes. When you get a bunch of stuff, gather
All right,
up
so
around the
make sure you
tray.
get it in the.
Oh, there's a little fish in there.
Oh my God, that's perfect. All right, hold on. Let's leave him alone for a minute. I tell you what. Let's focus on this. Here, let's leave him alone for a minute. Let's leave him alone for a minute.
I got a fish.
Awesome. That's exactly what I was looking for. All right.
Now, these charts that you're getting, they're called a dichotomous key. What it is it's a key that helps us identify something that maybe we've never seen before. What it does is it asks you a series of yes and no questions. I'll come around when the groups start getting to this point and help you out. But you start up at the top. The first question it asks you is, does it have a shell? So does it look like a clam or a snail? Or not? If you say yes,
We're going to start with this guy, trying to identify it.
and you can figure it out pretty easily.
Finding
If it
anything
doesn't
in there?
have a shell, then you're going to go through the series of questions and keep going. So legs or no legs, wings or no wings, what does it look like? Eventually you're going to end up in a section where maybe you've got 4 choices. And you're going to pick 1 or 2 that you think best match that animal that you have in that dish. When you get to that point, there's little descriptions above each animal. Read that description to see which one best matches that animal you have in front of you. There's a pretty good chance that's the animal that you have in your dish.
And he's designed like this to help him blend in. This is a really cool find.
Especially with some of the bugs.
So I'm actually going to walk him around and show the other groups quick, okay? So make sure you guys take note of what... Well, you guys, you want to come over here? I want to show you guys something real quick. I'm going to bend down here.
Hopefully we'll catch one and talk about it down there. If not, this is dialed skeleton. It's a really interesting.
Are you guys recording that on your sheet?
So we'll talk about him. All right. Oh, there he is.
Sit down.
And this picture that I've been showing you is actually a picture of Rowan Creek, right where we're going. So right off the bat, we know that there might be a good chance that there could be trout in the stream, right? Yeah, so.
I know.
So this guy is...
You have a ton of these.
You can still tell.
Guys.
Let's listen up, please.
Slow down.
Yeah, why don't you let him dump his net in here.
Move forward so you don't fall backwards.
You mentioned coordinates. Okay. What else? What are you looking for when you're geocaching? Treasure, right? So you're looking for a container. And those coordinates lead you to that container. You mentioned a GPS unit is kind of like an electronic compass. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first I want to talk about what is a GPS unit. What does that stand for, GPS? Anybody know?
Something. Position. Satellite.
There we go. Global positioning
Together.
Okay. All right. So where can we go geocaching?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
In a house.
In a house, we're going to have to talk about that in a little bit. Alright? But there are geocaches hidden worldwide. Okay? So if you're interested in geocaching and you have access to a GPS unit, you can go to a website called geocaching.com.
5, 6, or 7. Good. And let that arrow set. Okay? Good. Good listening so far. Great.
Okay. So you're going to start off looking for your geocache. You can follow the arrow. Sometimes that arrow can be a little misleading. Okay, so there's another piece of information you can use. It's called the distance to destination. So what do you think happens to that that number as you get closer to your geocache? It's going to get smaller. What happens when you pass your geocache? It's going to get bigger. Okay, keep that in mind. Sometimes the arrow can be a little bit misleading. All right. We're going to use a page on these GPS units that's called the compass page. Okay? That compass is going to have a round circle. It's going to say north, south, east, west, and it's going to have an arrow. Where's that arrow pointing? Towards geocache, right? It's not pointing north like a compass. That dial will rotate to tell you where those directions are. The arrow is always going to point to your geocache. Okay. So when you get close to your geocache, let's say your GPS unit beeps at you and says you're arriving at your destination. Or if you're watching that distance to your destination, and it's getting to be about 15 feet. Okay, and you look at your accuracy and it says 20 feet. You know you're close. Now you just have to hunt. Okay, so you gotta think, where would we hide something? Okay? So, if you're looking and looking and looking, and you find a container kind of like this, that's probably your geocache. So when you open it up, you're going to find a piece of paper. That's called a log sheet. And when you open that up, you're going to see some names. Okay? So some other students might have found that geocache. It'll tell you what school they were from and when they found it. You're going to add your name, your school's name, and today's date, 21st, to that sheet, okay, before you do anything else. You will. Okay? So, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to see that there's little trinkets inside that cache. Some of our caches are small enough that we cannot fit a trinket into them. Okay? But everybody is going to start off today with a trinket. If you want to trade it out, you can trade it out. But you're going to start today with one trinket. You're going to finish the activity with one trinket. You can take that home if you'd like.
Where'd you find it?
Something that you're not really.
Yeah?
You don't care if you
What's
take
in
it
there?
home or not. If you
I
don't
want you guys to work together to get that out. Why don't you pour it into his hand?
There you go.
Who has the pencil?
I do.
Okay. And what's the first thing we're going to do?
Write our name down on the. Write our names down.
Okay, why don't we use this to write it on? Wow, it looks like a lot of names on there, huh?
Zach, Hunter. Oh, Caleb found this thing, and he ripped it. Here.
How do you know it was him that ripped it?
Well, it looks like. Well, it was by his name.
All right, just write your name wherever you can do it. Well, put it on the blue thing.
Do it. You found it. Okay.
You can put both your names on there because you both found it.
Okay.
That way, the next people that come here and find it will know. So, who had a good time geocaching? Tell me what you experienced.
A lot.
Yeah.
I found a dinosaur.
Yeah?
Awesome. I found a bug.
You found a bug?
Yeah. I found a
Who had a hard time finding the geocaches, or you found all of them right away?
I found it. Did you find the one in the
What was the best hidden one?
Probably number 12.1.
Yeah? Yeah, where was it hidden?
Number 15.
Yeah?
Number 15 was 12.12 miles.
Wow. Did you go get that one?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a far ways away.
Yeah, really. We hit it really easy.
Okay.
Number 9. Probably number 11 was the hardest. We hit number 11. I think number 11 was. That's itch stuff.
What you guys like looking at? Bison? Yeah? Any other ones?
There's a mountain lion.
Whoa.
also liked. I like badger.
The badger? John liked the badger a lot too. He wants to have it as a pet. I just don't think
do
that's a good
I.
idea.
I want the otter as a pet.
I don't think that'd be too
I
good.
want the otter as a pet.
What about you? Did you have a favorite animal?
Badger
I
that
like
doesn't attack you.
All of them? Okay. Okay.
I'll take
Nice.
a badger that doesn't attack you.
Yeah.
Okay, kids.
It's actually
Just like you practice, right? Yep. Lots of manners. Lots of manners. Lots of manners, right?
also kinds of baby toys.
Here's a man.
Are you filming this?
You're filming.
Guys, and we're gonna do it again. Above, below, nose, ear, quack. Simple as waddle-ee-ah-cha, doodle-ee-doo, doodle-ee-doo. Let's do it again. Waddle-ee-ah-cha. Okay, got it? Nose, ear, cross, right? Cross. Last time, and then we'll do the song.
One more.
Above, below, nose, ear, duck. Okay? Okay, got it together. Can everybody see?
Doodly-doo, let's just say ducky.
Can everybody see? Okay, so the song goes like this. It goes,